Hello, my name is Charles Nichols, your host, and you guys are tuned in to Inspiration Interviews. You guys know why you are here, why you are tuned in. We pull the influencers, entrepreneurs, anybody that makes a difference in the community, and people who just have a story to tell flat out. So today we have all of that packaged into one. And I am so excited to share his story with you and what he has to be able to get you guys inspired as well as I am. So before I get into that story, I would like to say that shout out to BB Greek for sponsoring this episode, as you can see with the jewelry holder, and also check out these little suit pins and also lapel pins, man. Thank you guys for always hooking a brother up, man. That is so smooth. I can't wait to wear them. Can't wait to be, flaunting my nail out there, man. So, of course, shout out to BB Greek. Thank you for sponsoring this episode. And so, I had to pay some bills right there. So, hey, let's get back to business. All right, so let's dive into this story. Let me set the scene. My father-in-law, shout out to Smitty. Smitty told me about how he keeps his hair maintained, and the big part of that is the person I am bringing in today. And he told me about how he is a private barber and how that his story a little bit beforehand. And long story short, I got a chance to, of course, get my hair cut by him, and now I go consistently. And I've gotten a chance to know him, and man, his story will definitely inspire you guys, man. So without further ado, who am I talking about? I am talking about Marzel, Z4 Ragland. Come on.
At the end of the day, whatever you stand for and fight for, make sure it's something that you won't regret. No matter what anybody say, you cannot have no regrets. Go for something where that you don't have no regrets. That way you can be the best you can be. That's what I am. I'm destined to be great.
The plan. He got the blazer. He got the blazer, man. He's clean cut today. He's clean cut, man. He's clean cut.
Hello.
Oh man, welcome to the show. You are here. You've been inspiring people, and that's why you are here today. So man, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling grateful, delighted to be here, and it's an honor. And I appreciate you for giving me this opportunity.
Oh man, I appreciate you for even coming. I am honored to be in your presence and for you to share a bit of your story, man. I am so excited to get into it. Man, let's get into a little, I always introduce my people with their nicknames in between. So your nickname is Z4. So let's dive into that a little bit. Just a simple question. So what does Z4 mean?
Z4 to me is, my name is Marzel, so people call me Z. Way back in the days, they call me Z-Lo. I have 4 wonderful boys, and they mean the world to me. So when I wrote this information, it was like, hey, claim it. Why not Z4? It's just what it is. It's the directions of what I use when I'm demonstrating my work / technique. So it just made sense.
Oh man, I love that. And I am a father of 1 boy, and I tell you, man, he gives me a run for my money. So for you to have 4 sons, man, to accomplish what you have accomplished, man, that's a accomplishment within itself. So with that being said, again, I introduced you and how you were introduced to me as a private barber, and that stood out to me because what is crazy, and for me to be in the world of social media and also major in that and just be in tune with what's happening today and how everything's getting technologized. I don't know if that's a word. I don't know if that's a word, but you guys know what I mean. So with that being said, one of the things that stood out to me is the fact that you have such busy days, such busy clientele back to back to back. I mean, the barbershop is packed out just about every day. But you don't really have that much of an active presence on social media, but you still have all these people falling in. And it's not only that, but it's like I go in and I either see somebody who knows of me or know somebody who knows me. Either that or I flat out already know them. I've been to school with them, or I haven't seen them in a while. I haven't talked to them in years. And it's just, the crazy thing is the connection that you maintained with your clients. And that is just so crazy to me. So I want to know, how did you develop such of a large following without having any actual social media followers?
Well, it's the people. I'm trying not to go too far, but I got to tell the facts. I was, 8 years old. My mom put a pair of clippers in my hand.
Remember when you first gave me them clippers at Persian Park?
Yeah.
Remember when you told me, you say, stay true to them. You'll never go home. Remember that?
Yes.
Exactly. Yep. My mom used to go to stage 1, man. That's how I started right there.
6, when I truly recognized what a barbershop. My Uncle Mac took me to the first barbershop over in Hyde Park. It was like, I forgot the name of the street, but it's the twins that had this barbershop, old guys named Twin. And when I walked in, I was like, man, that's what I want to be. I want to be somebody that makes a difference, that can deal with everybody, no matter what they do in life, just somebody that truly wanted to make a difference, wanted to be respected. So, back in our time, it was about your name. Your name was all that you had, If you didn't stand on it, it didn't mean anything. So the most important investment for me was people. So it was about relationship. I remember one time I was cutting hair and I got upset because the guy didn't pay me. I was, going through what they call the hoods or the projects and got upset. My mom was like, hey, I'm learning this at a young age. My mom was like, hey, all money ain't good money. And it just clicked. So, coming up, you hear barbershops getting robbed and all this and that, people betraying one another. People betraying one another. So for me, I was like, relationship. So if I take one, every one person know 10 people. So if I hurt this one, that's 10 people I'm hurt.
Oh man, yeah.
So if I deal with this one, he gonna tell another. So it's all in how you build. It was little cartoons like the Three Little Pigs, how they built their house. Mm-hmm. I respected the one that took the longest time. He built his brick by brick. And that's how I treat my clients, brick for brick. Everybody matters when they hit that door. It don't matter if they a homeless person, a person that's a janitor, a person that's a doctor. It doesn't matter. When they come through that door, you are somebody. Everybody is somebody when they come to me. So it's not about me trying to be the greatest barber. It's me being the greatest servant.
Oh man. Do you see why this man is on the show right here? That is so profound. I love that answer, man. And that just catapults me into my next question. Man, when we were chopping it up, you mentioned that this is and forgive me if I misquote this, but it was something dangerously close to, you don't cut hair just for the money or anything like that, but
No.
you cut hair at a point in time. You have the mentality, and still do, that you cut hair to eat.
That's it.
I wanna dive more deeper into that. What do you mean?
Okay, to eat. A lot of people they out here chasing money, but they hurting so many people. So to me, to have integrity, to stay out your feelings, because being a barber, you got a lot of different people coming in there,
A lot of different personalities.
Just coming up the way I did, cutting hair. I didn't get my barber license until I was 28 because I was the cleanup guy. Everybody came to me when they left the barbershop. Z, can you fix this? Z, can you do this? Z, can you do that? And it was just, be honest, back in my time, crack was big in the streets. Drugs was huge in the 80s, early 90s.
It was like little spots where territorial, where it wasn't about gangs. It was just about, man, this where they was selling their dope. From the gas station to here, this where everything was moving. And I had to navigate. All I'm doing is cutting everybody hair because I wasn't selling no dope. I felt like dope boys had to eat too, so while they were laughing at me, I was getting it.
It just wasn't for me. Mm-hmm. So if I had to do that to fit in, I was willing to take the hit. I took hits from family, friends, everybody, and I was like, hey, if I go to jail, or how I'm gonna make it, because the streets was just that bad. So I just felt like, hey, the most dangerous person to me is a man trying to eat. So if you're trying to eat, I want to do it the right way. I want to work for what's mine. So that's how I could face the worst people that sat in my chair to the best people that sat in my chair. It don't matter who you were. You could have been a killer, a robber, or whoever you are. But when you sit in my chair, you a man, I'm a man. And I'm trying to eat.
Oh man.
So at the end of the day, you know, if I work, and when I was working at FedEx, this is what really solidified everything. You know, Fred Smith, he has some good, you work there, I'm telling you, you could run your own business. But one plan that he had is called the PSP. A lot of barbers, they put their profit first. Then they service, then they people. That means they put their people last. That's why they don't last. Well, I took it, and I put the people first. And then the service, then the money. It takes great suffering. My Uncle Mac told me, he said, when a man is learn how to suffer, that's when he become great.
Wow. That's a pin drop, mic drop quote right there. Man, that is crazy. And I am just loving this story so far. So, and you mentioned how no matter what their past is, man, when you get in that chair, you a man, I'm a man, and I love that. And with that being said, you hold not only, of course, not everybody understands barbering and just what that means, but I mean, just getting in that atmosphere and getting cleaned up and getting a haircut, it's just more deeper than just, you know, a simple haircut. So with that being said, it's just, how do you feel and what do you feel what barbering actually is to you? Because a whole lot of barbers have a different definition and all that. What exactly is barbering to you?
Barbering to me is sacrifice. I lost a lot. Family, kids. You know, take a lot of hits. You know, it make me emotional because, you know, all you do is help. I serve in all four corners of my life, you know. You know, you try to be a good father, a good husband, you know, good barber, friend, all that. But truly, you just alone because you're giving everything. But you lose time. So to be in my position, time is everything. That's why I try to inspire everybody that gets in my chair. I use myself as an example. You know, I don't try to judge, any of that, but you have to have a true relationship with your God, you know. And that's love and truth. That way people can trust you. I stand on morals and values that's obedience and disobedience, not trust, not right or wrong, because right or wrong, too much junk. And the other three, you know, is responsibility, accountability, and consequences in life. And the most powerful substance is here. That's where your power lies, to make decisions. And that's off respect or disrespect. That's why I try to respect. Barbering is the tool. Barbering is the pillar. Barbering is everything that a lot of people is missing. And that's love. You know, honesty, truth from someone, because we the dump off for a lot of people. They come in there with their problems, issues, all that. That's why I protect my atmosphere. That's why my investment is the children. Because I feel like as long as I've been in this, if kids stop getting in your chair, that means your time is almost up. Wow. With the kids, I invest my time with these kids. I teach them. That's why the parents trust me with them. And that's all I talk about is the kids. You know, men, I hold them accountable, you know. The women, I show them respect. Because nowadays they need to know what a real man look like. What a real man been through. Somebody has to be the example. And I feel like we as barbers, period, we see more people than they own mama see them after they get grown. We see more people than most people see their own kinfolk, friends, all that. Most people don't have their biggest birthday till they die. I see the children when they come into this world, and I done cut kids leaving out of this world. I cut you coming in and going out. So it's like, when you ask the question, what does barbering mean to me? All I can say is life. That's what it means to me.
Man, yeah, That is great, and that's heavy. That's deep stuff, man. I having to take a breath because that's some heavy stuff you're coming in with, man. And as you mentioned, the next generation, how you're trying to teach them, and not only just with the skills that you are able to do, but just with life lessons and all of that. But I do want to touch on another generation. Well, before I go into that, so let's talk some little facts here. So,
right.
How long you been into barbering?
Well, if you include...
Because you said you started basically with a clipper in your hand when you were 8.
Yeah, I'm 46 now, so you're talking, what, 38 years.
38 years, wow.
But see, for me, you know, Martin Lawrence, Will Smith, you know, God, you know, they say, well, God will. I know for a fact God taught me, but God put men into my life because I could just share so many different situations that made me who I am. You know what I mean? When you talking about, well, how did you build your clientele and this and that? One situation, I was cutting this gentleman by the name of Lawrence Plummer. And, you know, most barbers, they just accept walk-ins all day, you know. And a lot of us barbers don't feel that we could time manage, you know, hey, appointments. Yeah. But you can only cut so many people. So with that being said, Plummer said, I want to be your first appointment. See, it takes somebody to believe in you. It takes somebody to say, hey, hold your camera right here and point that finger and say, hey, look, this is what I want you to do. Can you make it happen? So with that first appointment, it led to 2, 3, 4. Now I just run with that. So with me, again, that's what built my clientele because word of mouth is so powerful. People can talk you up, people can talk you down, but respect keeps you going. Respect keep you alive. Respect keep you working because they might not like you, but they respect you. So that means they still gonna come get in your chair.
Man, yeah, and I love that. Oh man, I just love that because, of course, as I said earlier, I have consistently been going to you. So the atmosphere that I've seen, man, is just I haven't experienced that positive energy and just people just being able to get along. Even people I haven't seen or I haven't really know. I walk out of knowing them, and you create that environment where everybody can get along. You control that, and I think you do a pretty daggum good job of doing that.
But I gotta add something to this because I don't know how far this is gonna go, but I thank God for Boris Stevenson. Boris, when I first got into my barber school, he's an older gentleman, been in the barbering. I mean, Boris probably I know he probably close to 70 now. And I'm talking about, yes, God gives you gifts, but everybody need a coach. And I thank God for Boris Stevenson for the coaching, for what he did do. And I just want to tell him thank you. I did acknowledge him. I gave him a plaque back then, you know, for just introducing to me, you know, just the professionalism of barbering because, again, we don't know everything. That's one thing about what I learned. When you come into an arena, you might have the gift, but when you come into the arena of somebody doing something on a professional level, God challenged me and said, hey, Z, I need you to take what you know, ball it up, and put it to the side. We have to learn to do that because you have to learn how to receive. And Boris he was amazing with that razor, but I couldn't do it the way he did it. So you have to be careful what you ask God for. I asked God to give it to me in a simple form of what he was doing. And that's how Z4 was created. Because I wanted to make sure that I performed the same thing on one side of the head that I did on the same side. You know, I want to do it on the other side as well. So the left and the right side of your head, I want to make sure that I didn't do one thing over here and then turn around and do another thing over here because we as barbers, we always challenge like that. Oh man, you cut my hair this way on this side, then on the other side it looked like this, or you line my head. I wanted to make sure that I was on point and made sure that I was even across the board. So I just want to say thank you to Boris. Another guy, Jay Hollenshed, thank you. Great guy, big brother to me. Again, God put people in your life. You know, he recorded me one day and I was offended. Because I was like, man, what are you doing? He was like, Z, I've never in my life seen nobody move a razor like that. So I walked into the shop. I used to manage his shop over there on Hacks Cross. And he had it up on his monitor, and I was just floored. I was like, man, that's me. He was like, exactly. He said, you got to write it. I ain't know nothing about no writing. Again, I prayed. I wrote Z4 in 45 minutes. It takes people around you to push you. You got to want to be around people that want to see you great, because sometimes our ignorance can hold us back. That's called lack of knowledge. So you don't get nowhere by yourself. I feel like God put people around you to push you. Even now, me sitting here doing what I'm doing now is the first, because again, I've been rolling on the old system. So again, I'm putting what Marzel know to the side. It's a common practice. Every level you go to, you got to go back to one.
Man, oh man, and I love that. And thank you from the host. Thank you guys that he just shouted out, because of course, man, that is just a vital part of your story, and I am so glad that you are sharing that. But as you said, just like you said, like with them being in a different generation at a different time, and then also you knowing an old system, that kind of catapults me into my next question about, so how, with the experience that you've had and being in barbering over 35 years, like how have you seen the barbering world change? Like, and what does that mean to you?
Well, the change is the fact that, to me, I don't think we ever peaked out. I just think we as barbers, most of us come from, going to jail, a lot of us didn't complete school, we just went through school, They just look at barbers as being, incompetent, non-educated, they're just good with their hands, we're not businessmen. So the model was already messed up. Back in the days, they did have a barbering, some sort of barbering board where master barbers used to have to try to get together and try to make a difference, but it was hard because everybody wanted to be the leader. Mm-hmm. It was hard because you had too many opinionated people trying to do something. Nobody wanted to sit back and be an Indian and allow a chief to lead. So it's the appearance, it's the knowledge, it's the approach, it's who us as people, not as a color of a black man that's all he's good for, that he can make money but he don't know what to do with it. We never became professionals at our craft, so that was always a goal in me as a kid, to change the game, to let them know that we are more than. Again, with Boy Stevenson, he introduced me to the penitentiary. I worked with him where we went inside the penitentiaries to test, and that was an experience. A lot of us, judge people that's coming in and out. Well, I want to tell y'all something. The penitentiary, the only difference between them and us, they looking at 4 walls. We looking at more room to roam, but we all in penitentiary because we here mentally enslaved. Because the simple fact, we all trying to eat, we all trying to get somewhere. It's all in how we do it. And that's the reason why I focus on integrity. And that's the reason why I focus on love and respect, and I'm not doing no chasing, because my investment is the people.
Yes, that is so great. And you mentioned that you went to a penitentiary and got that experience about cutting their hair. And man, that makes me even more curious as we conclude. Man, what other accomplishments or experiences that you have seen and done that just helps you with your daily basis? Because we didn't say it. You didn't told me about the big stages and other experiences you had. So please enlighten us.
Well, I'm gonna just go back just a little bit. The accomplishments that I had, I'm no longer doing it. I stopped maybe about 8 months ago to focus on me now. I work with the youth at I used to call Ragland. I used to go in and cut their hair, mentor. Did that for almost, I think, right at 9 years. Again, be a stand-up husband, father every day. I just want to clarify about the Atlanta situation. When I was down there, I just introduced Z4. It wasn't no competition. It wasn't nothing. I just wanted to introduce them, the importance of Z4 and the importance of the razor and what it can do to enhance and take your skill level to another level where that you give your client a complete cut and more definition and more satisfying to the client, you know. So with that, when I walked in, it was like an auditorium situation where it was like maybe 2, 3, 4 people sitting in there. And I'm like, God, you sent me. And he was like, hey, look, go up there, set up. I had 5 minutes. And when I turned around, it was standing room only. So once I introduced it to him, you know, again, I didn't have it all down pack about the business, didn't have nothing to sell them, didn't none of that. But what I gave them was something that they ain't never seen before. And I know it's been since '07, but God's timing is what's important, because now y'all are in search of the truth. I think what Z4 gonna bring to the industry is gonna bring a new transplant, heart transplant. We're gonna be challenging, you know, barber skill set levels, the importance of why we do what we do. I just feel like not degrading what's going on, but it's time out for the clown sectors. It's time out for the fakeness. If you're gonna give them color, at least give them real first. And that's what Z4 gonna stand for.
Man, I love that. Cause man, it's just great. Like with these new generation of barbers, and I've seen some friends and all of this, man, like they just, all they use is enhancements, and all they use is just stuff that wasn't there back in the day. And although I'm only 23 now, I'm seeing how it was when I was getting my hair cut when I was a youngin' and all that. And it's just now, like, I've seen a whole lot of people just try to cut the corners. And that's one of the things that I love about your shop and your brand, man. Like, you know, we just how you described it, man. Like, that's what you stand for. And we ain't with all that willy-nilly, all that type, whatever they got going on now. So, man, Z4, we have talked about a lot, and right. I am so grateful. I know that there is so much still to unpack.
Yes.
Man, what they have received today is just a little bit of part of what inspired me just off of the bat. And man, it's just been a pleasure knowing you so far and just being able to be one of your clients. Man, I am so blessed that God has made us cross paths, man. I have definitely, you know, had a unique experience with everything from the atmosphere of the barbershop, and then just the way the cut is, and just everything, man, and about your character and your story and how you got to where you are today, man. Like, that is why you are on the show today. So as we conclude, man, I do have to ask, what other advice would you have for not only just barbers, but just entrepreneurs as well? So what would you tell them?
Well, I would tell them, first of all, love what you do. Whether it's your dream or have passion for what you do. If it isn't making a difference in someone's life, then you're in the wrong field. Hold yourself accountable, stay true to yourself. And always be fuel for someone else to move forward. Be careful how you use your platform. You know, we're not breaking anyone down, we're building people up. So that's pretty much, you know, just summing it up. Other than that, you know, I just want to most importantly, you know, I'm just grateful, honored, and thankful to have this platform today and to just share a little bit, because there's so much. You know, and I just thankful and honored. So hopefully y'all will be looking forward to Z4, and I'm reaching out, challenging everybody. And one thing I want to say is not just anything, but shout out to Steve Harvey, because back in the days, like I told him, you know, I used to watch, you know, TV, and back in the days, you know, everybody wanted that Steve Harvey hairline. He is part of why Z4 was created. Not to say that his hairline was fake, but I wanted to give it to him real. And as y'all know, Steve Harvey is the truth. Look at that brother today. So I thank you for being a trailblazer, Steve Harvey. I thank all the guys that I looked up to. And most importantly, I can't name everybody, but a day in the yard will make a difference in anybody's life.
Man, I love it. Man, we have talked about a lot, and you have shared just a portion of your story and who you are and how you got to where you are today and the relevancy of barbering. I know that some people out here who don't get their hair cut and just, you know, just out here just like, what is the relevance of barbering? I hope that you have got how deep it is and how of an impact it is off of this interview today. But it's not over, man, because everybody who comes on, I do have to see a little bit of their work and a little bit of their talent. So we're going to do something a little bit unique. So I am going to ask you, may I come to the shop and just see you, in your element? And
Man, I would be honored. Honored.
Oh, man.
And again, I'm looking forward to the process. So I am honored. Thank you.
I love it. So right now we're going to go ahead and play that clip and show you guys how it is at Z4.
Z4. Wow, what can I say? This is my guy. I'm Pastor Corey Alexander. I've been with Z now going on 10 years. And the reason that I'm with him, the reason I stick with him, he's consistent with me. He's flexible with me, being a pastor, being a chaplain, being a horse owner, being a family man, working for Fayette County Schools, doing all that. My schedule is crazy, but Z never tells me I can't get you. And so I respect that, and I respect his profession. I don't push it on him, but he's always provided excellent service, has done an amazing job. When your wife tells you, hey, don't miss your next haircut, you know what time it is. So I appreciate him. That's my guy. Anyone who needs amazing experience, not just haircut, but just empowerment, inspiration, he's the guy. And so Marzel, Ragland, Z4 is where it is.
Man, we're gonna go back to Peary Street, North Memphis, Hollywood, Church's Chicken area, the Hollywood Library, Ed Rice Community Center, Z4. That's when them Clippers first started singing, man. He was singing them for the 50 cent, $2, $3 haircut, whatever you stand up, whatever you give me, you gonna take it. Hey man, he come a long way, man. We so thankful and grateful. And just the experience of just getting a haircut is not only just a haircut, man. He has a lot of wisdom and knowledge. And Z4 here from God. Sometimes we talk, man to man, and it's a lot of barbershop talk. Sometimes guys talking about sports and games and different things, but in the barbershop, when you come for a real Z4 experience, talk about life, how to elevate yourself, how to be empowered, how to do things different in life to be better, family man, all about family, kids, loving on, men loving each other. You leave the barbershop sometimes, all right, man, have a good one. We always say, hey, man, I love you, brother, and we really mean that. So the haircut consistent. I've been coming for, I don't know how many years now, but it's just, we go way back to when we were kids, growing up together, throwing dirt bombs at each other when Z4 has not always been a nice guy neither. Z4 he may look nice, but Z4 can throw them hands a little bit. I mean, Big Brother used to get in trouble, Z4 come around the corner, he ain't no talking. Z4 ready to swing, he get the karate chopping and stuff, but I'm so glad they didn't elevate it from that Z4. And he ain't gonna let you talk to his mama neither. I be trying to get mama on the phone. He always hang up the phone real quick. Man, share your mama, man. Let me holler at her, see how mama doing, man. He ain't got nothing to do with my mama, man. Mama, I gotta go now. Chris in the background, But we go way back, man. He consistent, man. Salute you for all you doing, Z4, man. We wish you nothing but success, man. And we love you, brother. Yes, sir. Chris J.